Les said I started in front of him, by the way. I did not start in front of Les. Les is to the right.
Yeah,
all the
Les
way
was
forward.
racing. He ran pretty good.
Yeah.
He ran fine.
The thing about the TrackMate is the RPM is off. You will see the RPM is about $3,000 lower than it should be. You'll see on occasion it'll bounce off the rev limiter, but it'll jump up. So Jeff, it's doing a weird thing. Like I'm at 8,000 there, not at 5,700, and especially if you listen to the car. So Les is in front of me and it's 1,200, which is comical. I'm coming up on the wall I hit last time.
This is Les right here in the 60 car, the number 60 car. Yeah.
I found the one place that people go way too slow on this track is through this tire barrier chicane, which everyone slows down way too much, and they swing out way too much. They can take this chicane and kind of straighten it out, and they don't really straighten it out. They go swing out, swing back. Eventually, those big pylons always get knocked over. It's inevitable. It's impossible for them to not. So I'm basically in last place. The field is, 40 cars. Maybe it was 44 and 4 dropped out. I don't know. Mechanical failure.
Yeah. When you're running around,
if you listen, now this is if you look at the. I'm shifting at 8,200.
Right, it's showing 60
5
something.
No, it's showing like 5. So you'll see, though, at a certain point, it starts to bounce off the top of the rev limiter, which is an interesting thing. I don't know how it works, but.
Yeah, so this is the first time we hooked up that feature. Like I'm glad that it's working, even though the numbers are off a bit. But
me too.
Figure out.
You'll see at a certain point later on, you'll see it go all the way up and bounce off the 8. And coming around the right-hander where the concrete is. By the way,
you can overtake Les.
Could you go ahead and toss a hay bale or something in there? Does it have to just be straight into the concrete?
Oh. Sorry, Les.
You get up to 90 going down the back straight into this thing. And again, like, everyone thinks of 90 miles an hour. 90 miles an hour in a tin can piece of shit with, no windows. It feels fast. It feels like you're moving pretty fast. If you took one of these 510s and just went 90 miles an hour just on the freeway, you'd be like, oh, this is... Now, right there, I'm redlined in second gear. This is one of those, the right-handers in front of the grandstands, and you're supposed to swing it all the way out to the wall, but that's the last place you want to touch the wall because
everybody sees you.
Down the back straight, you go right up to, it'll get to about 100, 101 at a certain point. I'm not going that fast because, again, it's my first time. I just showed up Sunday. My whole thing is I started off in 40th place. Right. I'm going to bring the car back in one piece. I'm getting behind the Cortina, the Lotus Cortina. Those are cool, funky cars. They never win, but they always have one tire in the air. And they're always driven by interesting people. And there's something about that white and funky military green combo. There must be a story, Jeff
It's got
Fox.
like an angry face looking at you.
Yeah.
In the back.
There must be a story about that green on that Cortina.
Nice. Through the tires there.
I try to get through it without doing a lot of zigging and zagging and get through it at a decent speed. I'll bet you the green on those Lotus Cortinas was some sort of surplus from World War II, that's what they painted half tracks with or something. It's a very
that's all they had. It was available. It's free. They were giving it away.
It's a non-race. It's not British racing green. It's a weird green, and it's a military type green. It doesn't look. And I'll guarantee those Cortinas were probably built in the early 50s or something. They started punching out some version of them in the 50s. Lap 3 here. Get up to 98. I'll guarantee that's some sort of military surplus. Half the car color things have to do with military surplus. But that green is just too weird, right? And too military?
Yeah. It's not... it's not anything that you normally see on a race car, so it has to be, somebody found it, somebody got it for free, somebody did something like that.
Still, somehow that white and green on those Lotus Cortinas work very nicely. Coming up on a Lotus GTV.
So now, you think you're in fourth gear now? It says fourth gear. Do you think that's pretty accurate?
No, I'm in third. I'm in third and just redlined in third.
So you're in a gear. At least that's accurate.
That's right. That's right. And I'll drop down to second gear here now. It has me in third, but it's learning the system, and we're learning it. I'm down in second gear, and then it's second red line, and you'll see it start bouncing a little bit at some lap 4 or something. You'll see the RPM gauge the tach start bouncing off the rev limiter.
So I'm going to say that the TrackMate probably thinks you're in a different gear because
I'm not in
those
fifth
RPMs
here, I'm in
are off.
fourth. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love these B sedans or these 2.5 Trans Am cars because a lot of these guys just get squirrely.
Oh, yeah.
They're just hanging. They've got tires in the air, and they're just get squirrely.
They have a good time, these guys.
They do.
They're like you said, they're all characters. They've all got stories.
Oh, yeah.
Walking around and talking to some of these guys is got to be as much fun as driving against them.
Yeah, and again, you just go, where to go online to find this?
You can go, this video will be posted up on YouTube. It'll be up on CarCastShow.com.
This guy, by the way, was having none of me passing him before the S. So he swung out a little and said, "Nah, you can stay back there."
Well, that's the fun part of the track.
I think it's the fun part of the track, but again, at some point, it will be knocked over. There's no way.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Fontana's the same way. Like at some point, there's a couple of cones on a couple of these sort of. Now, did you see if you watch now, the RPM starts hitting the rev limiter.
Yeah, I see.
You'll
Between
see
5
it,
and 6.
No, you'll see it flash all the. See,
oh.
you see it flash.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now I don't know if it's starting to learn. Oh, 101. Look out.
Oh, on the inside, you're going to have to go tight. Heavy on the brakes.
Here's the next one that somebody's got to figure out. Remember the BMW from the B sedan race at Laguna Seca a few months back that front end got totaled? Those Breck guys are real fast.
Yeah.
They were all there, and I said, is one of those cars?
That was the guy that T-boned the yellow Alfa.
Right. Is one of those guys the guy who took out his whole front end and Les went, yeah, it's the number 25 car's right there. And I said, that's the same car that was totaled? Yep, number 25 right there. And I said, well, that's number 35 right there. And he said, oh, yeah, or 35. And then I started to think, well, maybe, now I'm not sure. So what we have to do is we have to find a picture of that car that was T-boned, or not the one that was T-boned, the one that did the boning. Find out what the number of that car was, and then we'll see the picture of the Breck guys, and we'll see the guys on the track and see if that car got put. So watch the red line. It did it again. It'll start bouncing off of the. It'll start bouncing off the top. There it goes again. See it?
Yeah.
See it do a weird light up? See that thing?
Oh yeah, I see it popping red.
Yes, it means it's going over $8,000, even though it's sitting at $5,000. It's doing something a little funky. Now the guy in front of me, he's got the 510, and he's the guy who's paralyzed from the waist down.
Yeah.
And you hate to pass a guy who's paralyzed, but you got to do what you got to do.
He's got his car's all geared up to he drives it all with his hands.
His 510 has hand controls on it.
But he can't, I don't think he makes like a closed fist. He has to do everything like open palm, like flat hand, like he's steering and everything. It's really kind of creative how he's got that car set up.
Yeah, and it moves good. I mean, he doesn't win the thing. He comes in the middle of the pack every time.
No, he's runs
there
good,
every time. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And he's a really nice guy. But
there's one of those.
The cone's down.
Already, the big barrel.
The big barrel down. Cone's down, yeah.
All right, so who's going to push that out of the way with their car?
You know what? I don't think anybody, spoiler alert, but I don't think anybody hit that thing.
somebody hit it once.
All right, you can see, I mean, again, you can see the red line now going.
Oh, it's going nuts.
Going nuts. So that's me at 8,300 RPMs, not 5,000.
Yeah. But, you know, the TrackMate stuff is cool. I like what they're doing with the graphics. We're going to just play around with a little bit. Like, I think we just rolled up to the track and tried to plug in some new stuff to see how it would work. There's probably a way to plug in whether you're running a 4-speed or a 5-speed and then the gear ratios and stuff and help figure it out. Because we're not running all the centers. I think we just ran a tack lead, and it's doing a pretty good job of figuring out most of the stuff.
Yeah,
and I think it's using the GPS speedometer. And I don't think we're not plugged into the speedometer.
No, here come the leaders, by the way, to lap me. Here comes the BMW and the Alfa. These guys are always dueling it out. And I see them in my rearview mirror, and I give them plenty of space to go by. I'm not going to slide in front of them because they're racing each other.
3 wide. They're cut in the middle of those two guys.
Yeah, you can cone still down. Yeah, those guys haul ass. And again, they're having their own race.
Yeah.
You hear that 9:14.6 guy
Plus, they
from
probably showed up
Laguna
to
Seca last
practice.
time? Well, they're
This is their job.
They're good drivers, and they have probably a little more horsepower because you see them on the straight just pull away, you know.
Yeah.
And that's not the driver. Everyone's flat out on the straight. BMW's making a shitload of horsepower or something. I don't know what exactly what goes on, but point is this: those guys are having a race for first place.
Yeah.
We're having a race for 17th place. So let them by.
You know, your car, your 510 pulls pretty hard on that straight. Like, a lot of the passing that you do is on that straight. And I don't know if it's just...
That's all the driver.
Yeah, I don't think so. You mean the other guy's waving you by?
Yeah, no, the guy... that 510 makes good, respectable horsepower and pulls nicely. But it's still a 1800, and they're believe it or not, you feel the difference between driving a 2-liter and an 1800, and like my 610, which I don't have put together right now, but there's an engine, a 2-liter with an FIA head on that thing, and that 2-liter with the FIA head on it makes, can make up to like 235, 240 horsepower versus the 198 to 202, and that extra 30 horsepower, 35 horsepower, that's a huge difference in that.
The larger displacement's got to be adding quite a bit more torque as well, and I think you're going to see that when you're digging out of the turns.
Here's me
on a track like this.
Here's me missing a shift. I remember looking into the audience going around this turn, going,
hey,
that's me 5th. Now I can't find the gear. Oh, there goes the BMW. Get back on now.
Jeff made sure to fill up a big graphic, by the way. It says can't find gear.
Yes, you can hear it. Only real misshift of the race. And again, I wasn't pushing it as hard as I could push it. I was trying to catch this last guy in a GTV, which, by the way, we found out it's worth like $300,000.
Oh, that guy was driving it like it was worth $30,000.
Well, he explained to me after the race that because the car was worth so much, it's an aluminum Alfa, and because that's such great history and because it was worth so much, he was being very cautious out there. But I
don't know about that.
I didn't feel that way when I got behind him. But
so you're coming up in the car now. The one you're talking about is this brown Alfa GTV
with I guess a bunch of history and GTA. GTVs are a little bit run-of-the-mill. GTAs are aluminum, and thus the A, and thus they're a weird little Alfa coupe that's worth $300,000. And if I hadn't blown my shift, I would have fucking passed this guy. But that's life in the big city.
Yeah, but you did that thing. You did that thing where we talked to the guy, and you're like, one more lap. The guy's like, everybody says that. One more lap.
Yeah.
One more lap, you could have had me, sure.
Yeah. I think we got the, lap 11. Yeah, now you see, now I'm coming up on the guy. This is the last lap. Now, I don't know this is the last lap, and I guess I should keep track of that shit. We're passing some lapped traffic at this point. I think we're passing a lapped car.
Oh, this red.
There's another red Alfa. Would
red
probably
Alfa.
be a GTV. Here's me. Let's see.
Those Alphas are cool looking cars. I like
Yeah, they're
those cars
fun,
that,
and the engines are cool. They're just big. This guy points me by the way. I do a double wave, it should be noted. I do the first wave so he can see me in the rear view, and the second as I go past him, because I appreciate a guy who's being lapped, go on by. I know you're trying to catch that $300,000 GTA.
That orange barrel slowly rolling out into the track, by the way.
Here's where I needed just one more.
Look at this Beamer coming up on you.
Yeah.
Now he's lapping you, this guy?
Yeah, he would be.
And we think that's the 34.
Yeah, that's 34.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we see what he does when he gets in the straightaway.
Oh, he wanted to go to the inside.
But he just swung out and still passed the Alfa.
Yeah.
And that's this is the final lap. We've got 12 laps in. It must just do a time thing, because
I think they ran like
are
20 minutes, and it's a short track, so 12 laps seems about
right. So
what you get.
now I got the Alfa GTA in front of me. I don't know if it's GTV or GTA. If I had a GTA, I'd put a huge A.
Yeah. It's
like
a GTA.
one of Alvin from the Chipmunks, because I'm thinking about sliding in right here.
Right.
And
he's not having it.
He's not having it, and I don't want to slide in and then bank off him. So now I should have gone down to first gear, because he wasn't backing off.
So what's worse, hitting the concrete on the right side or hitting the GTA on the left side?
I just crashed there last time, so I said, oh, fuck it. So now I'm going, all right, I got this guy. I got this guy in my sights. And he's driving. He's got a wheel hanging up in the air there. And he's
yeah, there's some body roll in that car.
There is. Well, it makes it fun. Now here's where I can kind of go. All right, I can go for it here, but again, a lot of concrete, not a lot of hay bales or tires, and I still think, oh, I'm just going to get this guy at a certain point. But
yeah, you're close enough. You can take him on the straight.
Well, I don't realize this is the last.
Or the next lap you could have had.
It's the last lap. Right. I thought for a second about doing that dicky move where I pass him after the checkered flag, but that's a dick move.